Hmm? Okay. All right. I should be better at this by now. Docs, chat. There's the chat. All right, everyone's here. A lot of people seem to have joined. Welcome to HM Insider. Welcome, welcome, Ren Pyrus, 4MC, Esoteric ASMR, Rhino Paints, Zachary LaCour, Ultima 64, Taylor Canny, Astromet, Jason Crichton, like Michael Crichton, Kwa Kwai Kyo, Tony Bed again? Oh, Tony Bed upgraded. Cool, thank you, Tony. System Ian Walker, System again upgraded. Etin Arcadia, Shrano 5, Sebastian Stewart, Awake with Holly Jean. Hi, Holly. I think you just messaged me. I think. That might have been you. I might get back to you. Welcome to HM Insider MSP. L, Bino, Philip, Alexa. No one's going to watch if I read all these. Question mark 96, James Smith, Gregory Milligan, Deep Theology, Don, Dane Santa, Carlos Camera, Johnny D. All right. Starting early. Welcome from the dredges. Hello, what's up? I got a new camera. The it might have the weird color thing on. There's the colors. Oh no. This is what I want. The colors are different, and it came with this remote control so that I don't have to zoom weird. So I'll just go like 1, 2. Check this out. Preset 3. See preset 3, preset 3, and that's all close, and it focuses. So preset 1 is chart size, and then preset 0 is whole desk size. So now it's more luxurious. See, I'm spending money on you, my audience. Hello guys, what's up? Assalamu alaikum. Heavenu shalom aleichem. Heavenu shalom aleichem. Hi there, cheese. I hope everyone watched Levels 2. Levels 2 is doing really, really bad. I know you guys probably all watched Levels 2, but the rebrand is going to have to be a split. I'm going to have to do Homath and then have another channel for Psychomath, because the Homath audience really, really doesn't care about, number one, my live streams, which is why this is private, and number two, the level stuff and the psychology stuff. They do not want to watch it, and I have to make these videos. But if I put them on the Homath channel, it's just gonna tank my channel. People are unsubscribing. It's like my videos usually gain me subscribers. This one's losing me subscribers. And I know it's only been a few hours, but it's like by a lot the worst performing video I've ever had. So my normal audience doesn't like it, and I will have a secondary, smaller brand that makes me way less money for you guys, because that's what really matters. Like, I don't care if Psychomath doesn't make me as much money. I'm still going to do it because it matters. I can't force it down the throats of the Homath audience. But, you know, I got to do it. I got to get it out there. Of course, it's going to have less appeal. So, you know, it's only been like 2 hours. So I don't know if it's going to continue performing that poorly, but it looks like it. So I'll be 2 guys. Yes, great video. Jordan Peterson in the news for health reasons. Got me thinking. He seems to push young men to strive to get a level 5. Where do you think he falls personally? That's a really great question, Ryan B. Where do you think he falls personally? I was just working out today, and I played YouTube, and Jordan Peterson videos were auto-playing, and someone asked him a question. It was a very good question, and I tried to answer it as if the question was asked to me, which is an exercise that I actually do a lot that you guys should do if you want to move up the levels, if you want to move up the hierarchy of thinking. you should do this exercise I'm about to tell you about. Somebody asked Jordan Peterson, what is the relationship of, what was it? The unconscious to the imagination. That was it. What is the relationship of the unconscious to the imagination? And I started answering the question as if it was asked to me, and I came up with my own answer. But as I heard him answering it, I went, oh, this is level 8, definitely. I recognized it right away. Like, I saw what Jordan Peterson's mind was doing, and he was, just like in the video, he was, let me get it out. He was... that's not it. Where's all my stuff? One of these days I'm going to get my stuff in order. Levels. That's not it. That's not it. There it is. This one. As he was answering the question, I could see him watching his mind put things together. And he was like squinting and struggling and like doing this with his hands and going, no, the thing is that it's when the da. And he was watching his mind figure out like, oh, I have an unconscious mind and I know where it is. I have an imagination and I know where it is. And he was like, I've never heard this question before. It's a good question. Allow me to find my unconscious and my imagination and play with them and see what they do in real time. So he was answering very clearly from level 8 and skillfully so. So he's probably at least here. Like, if I'm going to say I'm here, he's here for sure. And maybe higher. He's a very intelligent person. Somebody on Twitter asked me today, how can I say something positive about Jordan Peterson if I don't like people who support Israel? I'm not sure if I said that I don't like people who support Israel. I don't think I said that. I just think that our relationship to Israel is obviously not very good. And when you say he strives to get people to level 5, I think he's trying to get them higher. Like I said in my video, I think level 5 is the minimum to be an adult. And for me, what it's all about is getting to this point right here. Just zoom in. It's getting to this point right here where you take control of your own life and you start maximizing your own life and you do what you can to become better. And that is something that is, it comes with what we call self-authorship, which does begin at level 5. At level 4, you are defined by your exterior community, like what is it? Belonging, community, nation, your meaning group. I guess community is a good enough word. You're defined by that, and at 1 you're defined by your urges, and at 2 you're defined by your relationships, and at 3 you're defined by your abilities, your power, and at 4 you're defined by your community. So it's really funny. In the movie Dances with Wolves, you know how they like Indians, and by Indians I mean Native Americans, they have those funny names like runs with scissors, right? That's my brother Crazy Talk. We're all worried about him. That was from The Simpsons. They have those names. The reason that they name each other that is because, like, we saw you do this, so that's an ability. Dances with Wolves was a guy who danced with wolves. So his relationship to the wolf, they named him after that, and his ability, he was dancing with the wolves. the names come from these levels of perception. But when someone is named Smith or Shoemaker, that's their relationship to the community. You do that job. That's your role. That's level 4 is rules, roles, consciousness in spiral dynamics. So that's where those last names come from. And then when you get names like Brylin, like that kid that they're trying to sell us, Brylin, who they're trying to like replace Charlie Kirk with him or something, and he's just like just such a cringe little kid. That comes from breaking convention, because this is not a real name. It's not a real name. It's like, it's just Brian with an L in it. Someone's trying to be clever, but they're too stupid. That comes from breaking convention. It's a level 6 name. Smith, Shoemaker would be level 4. So you are correctly saying that he's trying to get people to self-author. You have to be a self-authoring person. And it is just terrible. It is just disgusting and terrible how few people can do that. People think from down here and from here, and they go, but I was nice. I was the nice boy to my community. Why don't I get things? But look, I went to college. I have the ability to get a degree. Why don't I get things? And up here you go, oh, what I do has to be something that people want. I have to put something on the table that people actually want to give me something for. I have to invest in myself. That's what the arrow would be. I got the arrow too. I cut it out from the video. I have to invest in myself and create something that people want, so when I put it on the table, I get something back. It's a trade. Every day is a trade. That's what self-authoring means. I have to be the person who's in charge of my own value. And it's really sad how people don't, like, it took me way too long. I didn't start till I was 23. That's pathetic. Why are we not teaching people better than that? People say they love the video. Thank you. Anon. Baked and salty. Hi, Barb Arian. That's funny. Missing word says, complete is only the start of the path. Well, it's the whole path. When you are sitting in that level, you understand that you've always been there, you just didn't know it. When you get there, you understand that, yeah, everything is the start of the path and everything is the end of the path. What's that song? Closing time. Every new beginning is some other beginning's end. Everything is just going, and you just are where you are. They show ads on live? They do? It's Your Mama says, LMAO, they show ads on live. You mean like the live stops and they show you an ad? I don't think they should do that. Especially not when you're paying to be here. I should fix that. They show ads on live. I'll look into that and I'll fix that. But who was that who said that? They show ads on live. It's Your Mama. Yeah, comment again if I'm correct that you just saw a video ad while you were watching this, because I don't want that. Not for the paid ones, at least. Yeah, we get an ad break. Okay, all right, that sucks. I'll fix it if I can. I don't know how. That's not doing me any good. All I need is the money that you guys pay to show up. This is a public live? No, it's not. Lock it down. The private live went public. They're getting too much free wisdom. This isn't public, is it? Did I just mess up everything today? Will you make a guide for women to level up? Yeah, I do have that planned. I do want to do a woman's self-max, but you have to remember they're only like 5 to 7% of my audience. So it's a pretty low priority. I do want to do it. And also, it just isn't, women just can't do as much as men because men really just don't value as much as women do all of this stuff. Like women can increase their value by like going to school and making money, blah, 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 blah. But if you don't do that, men will still like you for just being, you know, pretty and good to be around. It's just not as much. Like men being men and becoming competent and confident, there's a huge amount of room for growth in there. But if a woman goes from being like a shy nerd to being like Taylor Swift, it doesn't make men, like men are not crazy about Taylor Swift. Oh, she's so famous and popular and talented. Who cares? A lot of people think that there's something that's not attractive about her. But on the other hand, men who become famous and everything like that, they're just drowning in women. So there isn't as much that women can do other than look good, be someone who can have a healthy relationship, get to know yourself. It's mostly like the how to self-maximize for women is going to mostly be don't listen to your feelings. Like it's going to mostly be, you know, lose weight, be pretty, know how to be in a relationship, and don't do this. Like when you have these feelings, don't believe them. Don't do that thing like, you're cheating on me. Just don't do that to us because we don't like it. I'll expand on it, but it's not going to be like a big, huge thing. And also it's not a high priority video for me. But yeah, I have it on the docket or whatever. So is a woman above level 6 like a unicorn? Yeah, they're very rare. It's very, very hard to find one. I have a friend who was at level 6 when I met her and started moving to level 7 during COVID, and now she's pretty strongly there. And it's very, very refreshing to talk to her. But also I think she's 40. It's like 39, 40, something like that. And then there was a girl there was a woman who reached out to me who was trying to meet up with me, and she was definitely at level 7 when I met her. She's just a very self-aware person. But she was also, I think she was 34 when I met her. So like if you're meeting someone who's below 30 and she's at level 7, yeah, that's a unicorn. I don't know how to draw horses. Maybe I do know how to draw horses. Sort of. That's a very rare. No, I don't know how to draw horses. That looks like a dinosaur. But yeah, that's very rare. Like, I would love to meet a woman who's like, I would have loved to meet that woman, the one who was 34. She was as close to perfect as it gets, except for a few big things that she didn't say at first because she's a woman and that's what they do sometimes. But yeah, I want to do that. Okay, let me get to the paid ones. I can't believe this is public. Nothing goes the way that I want it to. I could have sworn this was a private one. Sean says, do you think there's a connection between Stoicism and the higher levels? Yes, the way you described the higher levels reminded me of Stoicism. Yeah, Stoicism requires self-observation. It does. If you're at a lower level, you cannot be Stoic because the way that you are going to think about your feelings, your relationships, your position in the world, if you're not self-authoring, which is at least level 5, you're not going to be mentally capable of knowing what to do with those things. Because the higher that you go, let me see if I can draw this. The higher that you go on the levels, more level equals the world. I'll just do a cube for the world to represent matter. Higher levels equals the world is more and more in you and less out here. So when you are looking at the world at lower levels, this will be plus and this will be minus. When you're looking at the world at lower levels, you're saying it is that way. Like this band, like Nickelback sucks. It just is that way. They just are bad. They just do suck. And at a higher level, you go, well, I don't like them. Nickelback sucking is in here. It's in my mind. It's not out here in the world. That's the way that I think about them. So if you're going to be a Stoic in any meaningful way, you have to be able to understand that the suffering is happening in here and not out in the world. And the higher you go, the more it's in here. When you're at level 9, you are understanding, like, when I say when you're at it, I mean like moment to moment, because you're not going to be at it all day. But when you are at level 9, you are understanding that everything's in here. I would say you understand that at level 8 too. Everything's in here. There isn't a world. There isn't one. Not really. It's the world is in here. I'm seeing it. I'm the one seeing it. So it's all happening in here. And the more that you know that, the more effectively you can be Stoic. It doesn't mean that you will become Stoic, but you can't be one if you don't know that. Good question. Brendan says, you have no enemies. In truth, no one does. Yeah. At a more unified level of consciousness, that's true. But in real life, you know, like there are people who do things that are real nasty. It's hard to listen to things like that when you get death threats through email. But I get what you mean, Brendan. TXDDS says, Home Math, my friend, can you draw me a Pepe with a MAGA hat? Maybe. I'm not sure if I can draw Pepe. I know that he's got like this, right? And then I don't know what his face looks like. I know that he's got like eyes. And I guess I can't draw the top of his head because he's going to have a MAGA hat on. I didn't leave room to draw the hat. And then I can't remember the shape of his head. I guess that'll have to be good enough. Missing World says, complete is only the start of the path. I answered that one a little while ago. Cat Lady of the Sea, cute name. What are your thoughts on Red Pill movement? I've answered that question a bunch of times. I'm not going to really go into it, but the Red Pill movement is based on understanding reality. It's just understanding truth. And then what they do with it, I think, is generally not healthy. It's a lower level. When they say that it's amoral. And what that means is that it's practical. Like, I'm going to use this to get my way. I don't really care if it's good for other people, bad for other people. I'm just going to use it to get my way. It gives me ability to control. That's the way that they talk about it. The knowledge that they share is important, and I share it too, but I would not want people to use it to trick women into short-term sexual relationships, because that's what's hurting, that's what's killing everything. It's an ugly world. When everyone does that, it's an ugly world. Ken Fabritius, to all Gen X, Millennials, and Gen Z, you don't hate hippies and boomers enough. They ruined and continue to ruin everything. Yeah. Yeah, the boomer generation is really not cognizant of the social contract and their place in it. They just don't want to understand what their responsibilities are to their children and their grandchildren. They don't want to. You can tell them, your actions are doing XYZ, and they'll go, well, that's your problem. And it's like, no, you need to understand the effects of your actions, and they don't want to. And that's frustrating, because how are you supposed to talk to somebody who doesn't care? They don't care about the effects of their actions. Like, how do you even talk to them? Both my parents used to be like that, and now only one is. But, yeah, that's true, Ken. One Dense Cabbage, welcome. Missing Worlds, welcome. Brendan, Christ's teachings have been very hard. Yeah, they are. I still struggle, but thank you for pointing me in that direction. Sure. Figuring out what Amos 5:26 means has been horrifying. Let me open it up and see if we can do... What was it? Amos? Amos 5:26. You have lifted up the shrine of your king, the pedestal of your idols, the star of your God, which you made for yourselves. This verse serves as a powerful indictment of the Israelites' sin, highlighting their idolatry and the importance of remaining faithful to God. The context reveals that God is rejecting their sacrifices and worship because they've turned to pagan gods, emphasizing the need for true worship and justice. What do you think that means? You have taken along Sakuth, your king, and Kaiwan, your star god, the idols you made for yourselves. I don't understand what that means, Brendan, honestly. This whole thing about how there's like a capital G God, and then there are like lower gods, like pagan gods, and they're bad, and like the top G God is good. Hallelujah, hallelujah. And then there's just like little pagan gods, and they all have devil horns. I don't understand what that means and what that passage means. Maybe you could explain it to me. Red Pill was just men talking about our divorces. Yeah, and then when you figured out why your divorces went that way, then everyone sort of put the pieces together, and now you have to deal with me, and I'm not getting divorced because I'm not getting married. There's one girl who's trying so hard. She's so pretty. I don't know if I can say no to her forever, but it's going to be a disaster if I try. She's trying so hard. Like I don't answer her quickly. I'm not putting priority on her, and I've told her that I'm not likely to, but she keeps trying really, really, really hard. And I know that if I ever let her come see me and we start getting a relationship, I know it's going to be like 2 weeks before she starts being sick of me. And then she's going to go, you tricked me, and I know how it's going to go. I know the whole drill before it happens. What makes a person wise? That's a good question. I think I've answered this one before it might have just been on Twitter, but what makes a person wise is it requires knowledge. I broke it down. I don't remember how I broke it down, but it requires knowledge. It requires discipline. It requires more than knowledge. It requires understanding. It requires empathy. Because you have to be able to know how you're going to apply your understanding and your discipline and your knowledge for other people. Knowledge, discipline, understanding, empathy. It requires skill. You need skill. Because you have to be able to actually effectively do things, even if they're subtle things. Even if it's just like, stop talking to that girl. You need the skill to know when. You need the understanding to know why. You need the discipline to actually do it. You need the knowledge to be able to identify when it's the time. You need the empathy to know when someone's in that situation. So it's a bunch of different brain capacities working at the same time. Oh, you need experience, because wisdom doesn't come without it. You need humility. You can't be wise if you think like, oh, I'm so cool, everything I do is gonna always work. You can't do that. You have to understand failure by experiencing it. What else do you need? Money. No, just kidding. But yeah, those things are all a part of it. Zed is Dead says, do you like metal? Do you like Manowar? Do you have any original songs you would like to play to us? I don't really want to do music anymore. I just don't really feel like it. I haven't picked up my guitar in a long time, and I don't feel any desire to do it. And I don't listen to music anymore either, like at all. If I do listen to music, it's like without lyrics, just instrumental. But I don't enjoy it that much. It's one of the things I stopped liking during COVID, and then I never started again. I like silence. That's the best music, just when nothing is happening. Marriage is valuable because if exercised faithfully, it is a bedrock of stability for society and self. Yeah. If you do it right. People don't do it as much anymore. Missing World says, actually, Red Pill became really creepy. We were trying to set up a help network, and Simpson feminists came in and destroyed everything. Then the PUAs moved in and turned it into 4chan. Well, that's what the internet does, unfortunately. If you can't exclude people, like the level 6 is inclusive. That's what they want. They want to include everything. Let me just get my... they want to include everything, and the way the internet works is all you have to do is just show up, and if you can physically be on the internet, then you get to have an opinion, and you get to interact, and you get to, be there and say what you want to say, and participate and influence the conversation. And when you do that, just like in levels 2, that it all falls down. It all goes down to the lowest common denominator. So if you can't exclude, if you can't set up boundaries where, like we're not going to let you join this group, like you can be in this group and in this group, but if you're in this group over here, you cannot join this one. If you can't exclude people from something, it always rots, always falls down to the lowest common denominator, which is what we're seeing with the inclusive hiring and immigration and everything. Oh, just let literally anyone come into the country. Oops, now it's the worst country. That's how that works. There's the warm colors and there's the cool colors. I do one of each the other way. What are you looking for? Your art will be worth millions after you're gone. Yeah, maybe. I am selling it. Somebody bought one for 300 bucks. It was just like this paper that was kind of ripped, and it had the 1 to 10 with the arrows. And the girls over here. It was one of the ones that I used in my early TikToks. Somebody bought it for 300 bucks. I should put more of them up. Let's see. Ken Fabricius. Wisdom also requires foresight, the ability to simulate possibilities and consequences across time and synthesize decisions. To primitive people, this ability made shamans appear magical. Yeah, I can see that. I would put foresight. Where would I put that? Foresight would be it would come from experience, because you have to know what happens in order to know what's going to happen. And that would be understanding. Knowledge. Yeah, I don't know if foresight is a separate thing. It's worth mentioning though. But I think it's reducible. Like these things are not reducible. You can't break knowledge down into anything else. You can't break empathy down into things, but you can break foresight down into several of these. Worth mentioning though. Orion Spur, welcome. Thoughts about vibes in connection to psychological levels? I don't know what that means. Vibes. Pepe vibes. I know that there have been a lot of times in my life where women are a lot more likely to say this than men, but men will indicate that they feel it. Women will meet me and say that I have like a, they use the spiritual language, they say grounding presence. And what they mean is that I'm conscious. Like they can see that I'm conscious. I'm very deliberate. I'm not reactive. So when people say and do things, I'm very myself, and I hear what they say and I go, this is what I actually think and how I actually feel. And they go, oh, that's grounding. Like you are being what you want to be and not playing social games. Good Morning says you missed my comment. Yeah, well, I'm missing a lot of comments. I can't get to all of them. There's like 1,000 of them, and sometimes I take 10 minutes on just one. It's Your Mama says you need to be doing more shorts and TikToks. I agree. Yes, I really, really do. I need to spend a lot of time on a whole ton of shorts. Like making that long video, I'm glad I did it, but it really, like I'll check it again right now. It really is not doing well. And that is like, that's the indicator that I needed, that this isn't gonna turn into this. It's gonna have to be two separate things. Because the people who came to me for this just want more of it. And that's good because I love it. And I've got a ton to say. I can talk about it forever. But I can't make them into one thing because then everyone who came to me for this will leave. But let me check it again. Checking. Content, refresh. Yeah, it's 11,000 views in 3 hours. Ooh, that's awful. Like I have made some videos that got 300,000 views in one day. This one looks like it's not even going to get to 50. So, yeah, they don't like it. Certain religions are universal, others are exclusive. Yeah, that's true. Oh, good morning says you missed my comment. You missed my question. I'm scrolling, but I don't see it. Sorry, just keep asking. Maybe I'll get it the next time. How does one deal with widespread pretentiousness and nepotism in society? You separate yourself from it. People are going to be what they're going to be. Did you, Charles Kaplan, did you watch Levels 2? If you didn't watch it, go watch it. And when you think about those things that you just asked me, which is what you just said was, where are the words? You scrolled away. Charles. I wish it wouldn't auto scroll. Buddha's priest said your self-development thing is very cool. Thank you. I agree it is very cool. It's going very, very well. And we're going to be working on it a lot more. Charles Kaplan. Okay. How does one deal with widespread pretentiousness and nepotism in society? Watch Levels 2. And when you're thinking of pretentiousness and nepotism, just substitute it for, let me find where I put it. For the way that Islam doesn't want to change their minds. Like, you invite them to live in the big inclusive society. Let's bring them here and we can all include. And then they go, yeah, well, we don't include this. And they shut it down, right? So then you no longer have inclusiveness. You only have Islam. When you say, how do you deal with pretentiousness and nepotism? Just remember, they don't want to change their minds. They just want their way. They want you to think a certain way about them. They want to get their way. It hasn't occurred to them yet that they don't have to be like that. So what you need to do is put a boundary between you and them. There are going to be times that you can't do that, and you're going to have to, like, those people are manipulative, and you're going to have to manipulate them right back. You can't make them grow. You cannot force people to grow up. And if you try, sometimes they don't like it, and they get even worse. The Dark Moo says, what would you say is the best answer to cynicism besides delusion? I don't know what that question means. An answer to cynicism? Besides delusion? Like, cynicism is the concept that people are just generally bad and selfish and you have to be self-protective. But why would you need to answer that? Like, cynicism is true. People are bad and you do need to be self-protective. It's just, you can't let it make you miss opportunities. You have to know when to stop being self-protective, because if you wall yourself off from everybody all the time, then you can't participate in anything. You have to take risks. You have to take calculated risks. Like, cynicism is basically the idea that there aren't any risks or relationships you can have that are going to work. Impossibly Stupid says, I think a good video idea would be explaining how a Chad isn't what most people think. Can be extremely negative. I feel like giving people related yet different viewpoints helps them branch. Maybe. I've been over that a lot, like when I explain how men who are popular and sleep around, it's not awesome. And God, I don't think I have it. Might have to open up digitally. I wish I was more organized. Graphics. Digital. Self-maximize 3 sword pilled. So I do have this guy here. The Chad here. Like this guy makes women happy because they like him and he, you know, gives them something good. He gives them a relationship. Women don't like this guy because he gives them the relationship. He gives them, I did everything you told me, but he's not attractive. Women don't know who this guy is, but this guy, women are attracted to him, but then they regret it. And they go, oh, we hate men. Men do this, men all. So, like, I have addressed this. I address it a lot. I don't think I've ever had a video that was the main topic. But, you know, I don't know if it needs to be. It's not a bad idea, though. Maybe I'll do it. Pixel Fiend says, what do you think are Christianity's strengths and weaknesses? The strengths are that it teaches people that you have to, like, it brings people up to level 4. It teaches people that you have to understand, you know, what's happening in other people's minds. And you have to, like, actually be good to them and make them happy to see you. In order for society to work, you can't be selfish. You can't be a liar and a cheat. So it teaches people that. But the weaknesses are that Christianity is very, very easily used to make people feel like you have to be nice no matter how much someone hurts you. Like, oh, did you just kill my husband? Well, I forgive you, even when the person didn't apologize. Like, come on. That's not gonna last. That isn't gonna go anywhere. Those are disgusting values, and I think that's how a lot of people interpret Christianity. It's a shiny. Enrique Sousa says, guy or girl should ask the other for a relationship. I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know how to do that in the time that we live in, because it used to be that it was that the man had to. The man had to ask the father, can I court your daughter? And when the answer was no, it was, you know, he had to just, like, leave. And then he had to ask her, will you marry me? And she had to say yes. But now, there are just no rules. All the rules are out the window. And a guy asking a girl for a relationship is, like, weak. It's seen as weak. Would you be with me and only me, and I'll be with only you? It almost sounds like, you know, like you're out of touch. I don't really know. I don't know. Gonna have to think about that more. Goosem says, how do you rebuild lost confidence after lifelong rhetoric from parents who say do X or else you are a failure? And when you try to do Y, they say 99% of people who did Y and didn't do X are failures, so just do X. Then you do X and nobody is hiring. Well, don't listen to people who tell you things that don't work. you definitely need to privilege what works over what people tell you, even if it's your parents. Like your parents are just, the fact that it's your parents doesn't make it important. Let me see if I can find my triangles here. So this is from Self-Maximize. So right over here, we have me as a kid, and I have to have a positive view of my father because I rely on him. And I like myself, but my father says bad things about me. So the result of that is that in order to like that creates cognitive dissonance, right? I want to like myself, but dad says I'm bad and I want to like dad. So it's like I can't disagree with him. So then down here, I just agree that I'm bad and I start not liking myself. Dad says, "You are weak and you are lazy," or whatever. And I go, "Yeah, I am," because I want to have a good relationship with my family. So that relieves the cognitive dissonance. This is what happened to you. Your parents told you the thing you want to do is bad, the other thing is good. And then you said, "Okay, the thing you want me to do is bad. I'll do the other thing." And that's because your parents are important to you. So the resolution for this is stop caring. Your parents were wrong and they didn't help you and they didn't get your life on the right track. So just, disconnect. Tell them to kick rocks. Look at what happened last time. Shh, quiet. You're wrong. And so now you can't have that cognitive dissonance. So now, no matter what your parents say, you can just make yourself from something else. So what I did was I went and I, became a different person and people started liking me. And then I went, oh, all these people who I like me. So now I can like myself based on that. That's what liking yourself is made out of. You see other people liking you. We want to act in our society. We want to act like, oh, I don't rely on other people. Yes, you do. You live in a world where there's other people. Of course you rely on them. So I hope that makes sense. That was a good question, and I think that was a good answer too. 10 raised tube. During your physical training, did you ever try fasting? Not during my heavy physical training. Like when I was the most physically fit, I was basically like if these were the calories that I needed to maintain my weight, I would eat like a little bit more than half of that. It was like maybe like an 800 calorie a day deficit. And I would be very consistent with this for months and months and months without taking like a lot of days off or slipping. So it would be like every 4 days, 1 pound, losing 1 pound. 1 lb equals 4 days. I didn't do a lot of fasting during that time, but I did a lot of fasting over the past few years. I'm not in the best physical shape I've ever been in, and I'm never gonna be. I'm 41, but no, I didn't fast while I was lifting and training for size and strength. ID Crisis Design says, would opining on BPD derail the stream? No, but I don't know what you want me to opine on. Like BPD is getting really common. People are getting really mentally ill. Our media and our lack of relationships are making us mentally ill. And you got to stay away from BPD, and I don't know if you can cure it. I don't know how much more opining I can do than that. What do you think about Myers-Briggs? I think it's this is 0865 asking me, what do I think about Myers-Briggs, the MBTI? I'm gonna make a video on types, and I guess I'll put that in the psychomath channel since nobody in the home math people don't want it. I am gonna make a video on personality types, and what people don't understand about them is that you can divide people up in any way. You can do male, female. You can do tall, short. You can do dumb, smart. And those are types. You're dividing people up into groups. MBTI does this with 4 different things. It's the introvert, extrovert, and whatever, 3 other things. And those things they tell you something about yourself. It doesn't tell you everything about yourself, but they do tell you something about yourself. And I think that it's very useful for figuring out what kind of job you would enjoy doing and feel comfortable with. Kieran Alex says, Levels 2 gave me a frame to put towards conversations with my older brother. One of the smartest people I know, but dissociates. Says things like, I picture myself as the person driving the car by instead of me. I don't know what that means. Do you mean like if he's standing near the road and someone drives a car by, he pictures himself as the person? What does that have to do with anything? He's just like, he's putting himself in the place of that person for some reason? Because what? He doesn't like to be where he is? I don't really understand why. There's another question. While I don't consider myself as smart as he is, I've lived a life testing myself against the world, and my sense of self is stronger. Could a more adventurous life lead to easier pathing from 6 to 7? Yes, being more adventurous does move you up because it puts you in different situations. Like if you are a more adventurous person, then you're born here and you live your life here. If you stay here forever, that's all you're gonna know. And if you go to different places, then you'll be different. Your experiences are going to make you different. And remember what I said in levels 2, that more perspectives equals higher level. So the more that you get out of a situation and go to different situations, the more you're going to see the world differently, right? And when you see the world differently, then you see yourself differently. And when you take all of those perspectives into yourself, you go from this is just the one way that it is. This is like this. This is the way that it is. This is like my level 4. This is the way that it is. You go from there to taking more perspectives in. And then you go, oh, everyone has a way that it is. So like this is just like Christianity, Jesus. And then you go run around and go, geez, people think a lot of different things. And then you take both of those things into yourself and you have more perspectives. So yeah, changing your life up and getting into different contexts definitely will help you move up. Good question. Pixel Fiend says, how do we solve the white birth rate? Is the declining birth rate caused by the you-know-whos? It's a complex question. There are people who want to get rid of white people. You know, we all know how the conversation is going. How do we solve it? I don't think that we can solve it without struggle. I think there's going to be some struggle because we're in a very, very bad position, and there are people who don't want to let us get out of it. I don't know how to solve it. Like you have to reward people. Like there was a certain somebody who gave a family a free house if they had 4 children. And so they did. That worked. You know, I don't know what's going to work for us. I just don't know how any of that stuff works. I would need to do maybe $1 million, maybe $5 million worth of survey research. I would need to ask a lot of people, you know, what is it that you value in life? And then you have to make sure that whatever they value in life, that it's much easier to get it by going through having a family than it is to go around. Like we are making it so easy to not have a family and so difficult to have a family, people don't want to do it. So we have to make it so that like you got to put up walls so that it's just you got to go, oh man, like trying to have a good life without having a family sucks. I need to have a family and then I can get what I want. That's what we need to do. But I don't know what people value. People have changed so much. People don't value the same things in all times and all places. I would need to do a ton of market research to answer that question. BB says, for the Ho Fund, keep up your important information. I will. But as I said, probably on 2 different channels. I'm very disappointed that people don't like the levels videos. My first levels video is my biggest one. It's got almost 5 million views. But then the second levels video was flat. And now this one is just tanking. So people don't want it. That was surprising. I thought they really liked it. Like the first one did so well. Rad Thad says, start taking control of your women. Duh, Asians are having the same problem. It's not that simple. Like, how do you take control of women? Just go grab them and throw them in the basement? The cops will be there in 10 minutes, you know? There's very little that we can do. We have to take control of the law and the media if we're going to do that. You can't just be awesome. You can't get control of women just by like being awesome. I'm so cool that women love me. Women are fickle. They change. They do this. This is what they do when they like you. When they like you, they test you. They freak out. And sometimes sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes women just cause so much chaos that they sabotage their own relationships. Like they test men, they over test them. Like they'll test him and he passes, and they'll test him and he passes, and they'll test him again, and they're like, you know what? That's enough. I'm tired of this. And how do you get control of them? You kind of have to say, I'm not giving you food and a house unless you behave yourself. And they go, well, I have my own now. I'm independent, which means dependent on the government, who gives them fake jobs. This is you working and the government robbing you and then creating fake jobs for women. I'm independent. She's indirectly dependent, but still, I mean, like you got to get control of the government. This is the key. You can't just go, I'm so cool that I'm in control of you now. It does not going to work on an individual basis. There's no way. Tone Blair says, what's the meaning of life? The answer to that question is very difficult to communicate. But think about why did you ask? Why did you ask what the meaning of life is? What do you want? That feeling of what do you want, that's the meaning of life. What are you searching for? What are you seeking? What are you trying to make happen? You want understanding. I want blank. I want. That was the meaning of your life when you asked that question. I want to know what the meaning of life is. And now you're listening to my answer about what the meaning of life is. And the answer is, you desire something. And when you desire something, you think about, should I do this? Am I the kind of person who does this? How does it work? Is it right? Is it wrong? What should I do? What do I know about it? What do I know about the meaning of life? What should I do? I should ask Homath, what's the meaning of life? What do I know? I mean, Homath likes to answer these questions. How do I know it's true? Well, I've listened to him and see if it works the same way that it worked before. And then you show up and you have your profile picture and you paid me $10. That's the way that you're appearing to me. And then you asked me the question. So I'm looking at you, got me to look at you in a way that I wanted to answer. And you asked me the question and you asked it to me. I'm over here and now I'm giving you the answer. Now you have a chance to think about it. And what are you going to do with your answer to the question? Well, it's going to go into your mind. And then that's going to change what you do and the way that you show up for others, or it's going to change what you want. So maybe this answer to the question solved your problem. And now you know what the meaning of life is. And now you go, oh, well, I want a motorcycle. Oh, I want a family. I just want this. This is the meaning. This is all there is. Like, this map is very underappreciated because this is all that your mind ever does. Right now, I desire to answer your question. I want my audience to like me. I want my lives to go well. And my mind is processing how to do that. How do I answer this question? And so I'm showing you my stuff and explaining the answer, and you are the audience, and you guys are going to react to it. And maybe you pay me more money, maybe you come back, maybe you like me more, and then I will learn from that. Like, I wanted people to like my levels video, and I took a long time to make it, and I was like, oh, I'll make it just like the first one, it'll do better than the second one, and I showed it to people, posted it, and it's coming back, oh, nope, they didn't like it. Now my feedback. Well, what am I going to do? Now I'm going to have to split the channel. And then I go back to desiring something else. That's all that ever happens in your life. So when you say, what's the meaning of life? You're making it by your mind doing things and asking for things in return. It's the table. You want stuff from the world, and so you do stuff for the world. You're making a deal with the world. You want the world to give you things you like, or conditions you like, or do things. You want the world to be a certain way for you, so you do stuff to make the world be a certain way for you. You are struggling with the Lord, you're fighting with God to get stuff back from reality. Like this here is you desiring, and this is you getting something back. So this is the environment. So you want something, you have to do something. The doing is right here. This is the man doing stuff. And the world requires you to do stuff. That's the blue arrow. That's the deserving arrow. And this is the providing arrow. So God deserves from you. The environment, nature, demands that you do stuff. And so you provide the doing of that stuff. And then what you get back is the answer that I'm giving you. You wanted an answer. You did stuff and you got back the answer that I'm giving you. And that is the meaning of life comes from that. Whatever it is that comes into your mind from that is the meaning of life. There's no like excuse me, my voice is getting weird. There's no like secret code. There's no certain car that you have to buy or a hat that you have to wear or a house you have to live in. That's the meaning of life. The meaning is just, you know, what do you notice about your own mind? And what does it want? Like for me, I have a lot of fantasies about living in certain places, and I want to live on like a lake and be able to swim in it. And so my mind is constantly imagining things that it wants. And then it has a lot of feelings. Like I go, oh, I want this house, right? On a lake. And then that splinters off into a bunch of other thoughts. That would be the mentality section. So like when I feel that desire, I want the house on the lake. This is the desire. And then I go, oh, well, the money, and I don't know if I want to live in that area. And, I don't know if there's, if I want to be stuck there and how to pay taxes and is there an HOA. So I don't know. I'm not sure. It's the mentality section, right? And then the taking an action section would be like research, talk to a realtor, buy a house, drive around. Those would be the actions. And then that would, I would do those actions into the world. And then the world would give me feedback, which would go back into the mentality area. And I'd go, oh, now I learned more about this area. I learned more about the HOA fees and taxes and everything. And then that's going to affect my desire. Well, I don't want that house. Nope. It's got a HOA. Nope. That's the meaning of my life right now. And I'm doing the video. So instead of house, I'm doing a live stream. How do I do the live stream? Well, here are my actions. What happens when I do them? Get the feedback. It goes back into my mind. Oh, I'll do a live stream different, or I'll do it the same. It's that flow process, that desire spontaneously arising from the unconscious and then becoming actions through your mind, and then the world responding. Whatever's in that for you is your meaning of life. Whatever shows up in that process for you is the meaning of life for you. Shiro. Oh boy, these got out of hand. No more long answers. I just got too many questions. Shiro says, we just had our first child, a son. How do we help him develop through the levels as he grows up? Make sure that you are... Okay, I'll do a really quick answer. I don't want to give a all-day answer. Where's my thing? So the baby's going to be born at level 1, right? And he's just going to want food and attention and things that babies want. And to get from level 1 to level 2, you do things like play peekaboo, right? What that does is it shows the baby, your mind and my mind are connected, right? I'm here, I'm not. I'm here, I'm not. You see me, you don't. That moves them. That's a connection. So you teach the child to see that you also see. And then at about the terrible twos, the child is going to start saying no. And then you have to let the child have power. This is why we have so many liberals, because we live in a society that says you have to take all power away from your children, and then they grow up and they've never felt a sense of power. So there are tricks like, if you want your child to eat vegetables, you say, do you want spinach or broccoli? So you let him decide. It's up to you. You have power. And then he picks one, and then he's much more likely to eat it because he got to choose. Got to give him power. And then when he's, developed into that phase, then you have to get him to understand that others also want power, and he's got to balance his power with theirs. Have him do team sports. Have him do team projects. Have your kids do things where the way that other people feel matters. Like in Full Metal Jacket, the fat guy, Private Pyle, he does poorly, and so all the other army guys beat him with soap in socks, and it hurts and he cries. And that's him learning, like, you have to pick up the pace because you're making everyone else suffer. Get him up to level 4. And then when he gets to there, then to get him up to level 5, you have to get him to realize you can't always do what others want. You're your own person. You have to create your own. So like when other people are holding you back, you have to understand that you can, anytime you want, rise above. You have to create yourself. And if you can do that, if you can get your kid there by the time he's like 15, good job. And the rest is probably out of your hands. The world will either do it to him or he won't. Lin B says, to the question about parents and the triangles, is it worth basing yourself on strangers' perception of yourself? Well, it's that you don't have any other way. That's what I'm saying. As they don't know you as well as your parents in the sense of time, at least. You don't have any other way to make an opinion of yourself other than you, world, also you. You don't have any other way to do this. To know what to think about yourself, like, this is you on the inside, right? So this is your mind, me, and then this is you on the outside. What do I, in my mind, think of myself? Well, you don't have any way to decide that other than how the world reacts to you. There are no other ingredients to your opinion of yourself other than what the world tells you. People will tell you that you're good, bad, ugly, pretty, annoying, comfortable, and you have the task of picking which parts of the world you're going to listen to. I will listen to this part, but not that one. And I will listen to this part over here, but not that one. And I chose not to listen to my parents because it wasn't serving me. I found people who liked me and made my opinion out of that. You don't have any other ingredients to make yourself. So it's not, is it worth it? It's, how are you going to decide who you are? The Royal We says, Psychomath is a perfect rebrand, works on many levels. It does, except it's becoming obvious that the people who followed me for Home Math don't want it. So I'm going to make a separate channel, and it probably just won't be as popular. Alejandro says, scored 8 on level check. Good. Levels 2, put thoughts I've had into context. Great. I come from a third world bad place. Life has been lonely. Yeah, I imagine that it has not been nice. If you're a thinker, if you're a deep thinker, and you come from one of those places, I bet that it has not been nice trying to find people to talk to. It's not nice for me. And I come from one of the least bad countries. So thank you, Alejandro. Fire Eating Ninja says, low views. It may be that it was during a workday on a Tuesday. It has a 2 in the title. You should avoid that even though it's difficult. I can't watch that. I have to watch 1 first. Okay, that's fair. Maybe I'll try another one before I decide that it's not going anywhere. But you have to understand that levels basic was like, if this is views, I did a W. God damn it. I'm so tired all the time. If that's views, levels basic was like this, right? And then most of my videos are like this. And then levels 1, the I forget what I called it. I think it was the basics or something, was like this. It was a little bit less than my average video. And now this one is looking like this. So it's just not looking good. But good point. Good point that it was on a Tuesday. I made sure that it came out 45 minutes after work on a Tuesday for 80% of the U.S. population, which is I think it's more than half of my audience. Pixel Fiend says, does Islam's treatment of women hold any water? It does for them. This is what we mean by harmonize. This is what we mean by integral. Like, Islam's treatment of women works for Islam and its women. They're doing just fine. They have families. They're eating. They're not starving to death. They're doing what they do. And that includes the way that they treat women. It works for them. They don't need to bring it here. It doesn't work for us. They think it works for us because they're all here. The one true way. This is the one true way to do everything. We will force Islam on you. But when you say, does it hold any water? It holds water in the desert. Kyle says, Mr. Math, a great educator. Thank you. Speaking of government, what would an entire overhaul look like in your eyes? And do you expect AI will play a major part in policy and decision making? I hope not, because AI is just full of like Reddit. It's just full of idiot poison. I can't remember what the Reddit guy looks like, but it's full of crap. Like, every time I ask AI something that matters, like if I ask it how much do these different cars cost, it'll give me a pretty accurate answer. But if I ask it like something that matters, it gives me the gayest, most retarded answer. It's the most politically correct. It's filth. Most of it is absolute filth. I really hope AI does not have anything to do with government. I have a design for government that I think would work. And it's very, very simple. It's a lot more simple than what we have. And it's basically based on like, it's holistic, it's integral in the sense that there's like a land mass, right? And there's going to be people who live in different areas of it. And so if you live in one of the areas, you have to really live there. Like, you can't just walk in and go, I live here now. I came from a different planet, but now I live here. You have to actually be a part of the community. And when you're in the part of the community, you can only vote in your community. And then your community gets a representative. Every community gets a representative, and they vote for the area. And then your area meets with other areas. So it goes from every individual in the country can go to their local meeting and be heard. So you can speak directly to your representative, directly. Like, there's maybe one representative for 1,000 people. And you can go talk directly to them, and then they go meet at a higher level. And there only needs to be like 4 or 5 levels between the individual and the president. So that's part number 1. And part number 2 is that the people are not allowed to vote on what we should do. They're only allowed to vote on what they want. So, for example, let's say, I'm not sure what I'm allowed to say on YouTube still. Let's say we should ban gum, right? We should ban gum because there are too many mass chewings, right? Are those really connected? Is that really why? Is the chewing the result of the existence of gum, or are people stupid? People should be allowed to vote for, we don't like this, right? There's too much of this, we don't like it. But they should not be allowed to vote for, here's the solution. They're too stupid to know that. People are too stupid to know what the solution for problems are. They should be able to say, here's our problem. Like, we don't have enough water for our crops. There's no reason that people should not be allowed to tell their representatives that we need you, we don't have enough water. But let's build a pipeline. Like, nobody is smart enough. The people are not smart enough to know if that's a good idea. Having people vote on solutions is, I'm getting angry thinking about it. It's so dumb. So if you combine the two of those things, I think that would be, oh, and there's one more thing too. You have to have that ancient Greek system of, if someone is a representative, their bank account is public business. And if they're taking bribes, they get the special necktie. If you know what I mean. No bribes, or else. Because our politicians are so disgustingly corrupt right now. And that's the only way that you can solve it. So those three things: local representation in tiers, and vote on what you want, but not what the solution is. And then absolutely no shady deals or severe punishment. I think that would be the best way to fix this. And of course, there's more details to it than that, but that's the skeleton. Brendan says, I use the Barbie movie to radicalize my girlfriend. It's funny. It's really easy to point out the brainwashing. They show them doing it to other women. That's cool. I haven't seen it. I probably never will. But that's good that you're helping her wake up. Thank you. Bragon says, oh my God, it just jumped. It just scrolled right out of my face. Bragon says, I tend to get stuck between different perspectives and things to say socially, causing my mind to make me socially anxious and seemingly autistic. Does practice trusting your gut generally help? Yes. Trust your gut, and then you're going to be wrong sometimes, and then you'll learn. So let me get out Self-Max again. You're getting stuck in here. You want to go talk to people, right? And then you go, oh, what should I say? And you should move here faster, right? And then people are going to react to you, and some of it will be bad, and you will learn. And that's going to teach you. Even if you don't do it consciously, it'll teach you. It'll be like, oh, I remember how bad I felt when I got that bad feedback. And then you'll go, I should change that for next time. Now I want to behave differently. Remember last time? Don't do that again. Do something different. Did it work? Bing, it worked. Okay, great. Feedback. Do that more. That's what I did. I used to have difficulty talking to people, and then I forced myself to go out and talk to a ton of people that were very different all the time, and now I'm very good at it. And I have a lot of uncomfortable memories from failing. That's how you do it. There's no other way. Pasty George says, awesome explanatory video as always. Keep up the great work. I'm assuming you mean levels too. Thank you. Appreciate it, George. Kieran and Alex says, yes, he says he will imagine himself as random people driving by, and it's more of a thing he catches himself doing rather than purely intentional. Excuse me. Sorry, I hope that wasn't too loud. I leaned away. I'm drinking bubbly water. Kieran, yeah, I forgot what your question was. I know it was about your brother imagining himself being in the car of someone driving by, like he imagines that that's him. But I don't know what the purpose of it is. Like, did he say why he wanted to, or does he not know why? He's just sort of passively getting out of his body and pretending to be someone else. That's like, I don't know, it's a weird use of empathy, I think, but I don't know if it necessarily means that there's something wrong. Okay, I'm gonna go soon. My throat is starting to hurt. So, yeah, I'll just answer these quick. Jack Houston, how does Christianity or deciding not to believe fit into your perspective of levels? I think it's beneficial for most, limiting for higher thinkers. Oh, I think I kind of answered that earlier today. Like, Christianity can do a lot to move you up from the lower levels to the middle ones, which is, it used to be very important and that's becoming very important again because society used to be almost all this. And then Christianity moved people up here. And then all the Christian countries developed science. And then we got sick of making all this money. And we were like, whoa, who do I really want to be? And who do I really want to be? Now everyone's back down here again. But they don't really want Christianity. I think Christianity may have run its course. I don't know if there's going to be a revival of it. It's a belief structure. It's meant to get you here. It's meant to get you understanding that other people are counting on you. Pixel Fiend says, if we're only 37% of the population, a lot of that is old or liberal. How are we supposed to win? I don't know. We're very good at winning, though. You know, it probably doesn't take as many people as you think. Vigo says, Dr. Sulikowski says, intersexual competition among women is suppressing reproduction. Yeah, true. Elite women are encouraging poor behavior beliefs in all women to increase success in their own offspring. Thoughts? Yes, this is something that women naturally do. Of course, it is subconscious. Let's draw a very big head on this woman. It is subconscious, so they don't know they're doing it. But they, you know what? I don't need to draw this. I already did. Go to who is a 10 here. It's this stuff. It's when this girl who is you've got the 10, the 9, the 8, and the 7. That's where they start getting jealous. Like I'm pretty, but I'm like not as hot as a hot girl. This is her saying, "Oh, you're a 10. You're so beautiful." She's saying that to the 3, and what that means is stay acting stupid so that you're not a threat to me. I'm going to tell you the wrong thing so that you ruin your own life. Let me just turn this so you can read it. I'm going to tell you the wrong thing so that you ruin your own life, so that you just go away and I have more of men and more of men's money for me. This one right here. And then these ones that are down here, like these ones enable these ones in their bad behavior. And then these ones enable themselves by when they say upwards, like you are a 10, what she's saying is like, I'm almost here. So if you're a 10, I'm a 9, right? They want to believe that about themselves. This is all them giving each other positive feelings. That's them holding hands and playing nice la 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 la. It's them giving each other positive feelings that are deceptive and misleading. Those are the status games. Those are the status games that they play in order to tear each other down. So yeah, they do that and it's unconscious. They don't know they're doing it. And that's just like, it's a consequence of believing that we are above our nature. We think we're rational beings. That's ridiculous. I mean, I used to believe it too. I try not to like be too disparaging towards people for things that are reasonable. Like I'm very disparaging towards leftoids and liberals because their beliefs are not reasonable. It's just disgusting what they've let themselves become. But I remember believing I was rational. I believed it for a long time. And people think they're rational, so they just continue with their poisonous behavior. I drew the girl for nothing. She's just there. Avenheld, the new video is great on its own, but people are not clicking because they see the 2 and think they need to watch old ones. Remove the 2. Okay, I'll remove the 2. I'm removing it right now. That's a good point. I'll probably change the title again later. I just did the first thing that came to my mind. Even held. Thank you. Jeremiah Bates. Okay, there's only a few more paid ones, and then I'm going to leave. April. New videos, fantastic. Thank you. What can be done with people who can't rationalize? Put them in places where they don't need to. That's what this means. It means everything in its right place. If there are people who can't be rational, put them somewhere where they don't need to be. Make them kindergarten teachers or put them in a church or something. I can't find it. My stuff is all over the place. There it is. That's everything in its right place. If people cannot be rational, if people are stuck here or below, and it's like, this is the way we should live, and that's where they're stuck, or this is the way that we do things, or this is the person I'm connected to, or this is what I want. If they're stuck in that stuff, and you're trying to be rational with them, like, hey, there's many ways of thinking about this. Let's take alternates. No, this is the blah, 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 blah. If they're stuck there, put them where they belong. Don't let them out. Don't let them mess with stuff that they're not ready for. Everything in its right place. Everyone starts somewhere, everyone stops somewhere. You can't force them to be rational, and you shouldn't try, because they will just get scared and angry and lash out at you. God, I've done a lot of drawings. Oh, so tired remembering it. Jeremiah Bates, I took the test on the website. I'm pretty much a 5 in everything. How do I skip level 6? You can't. Did you watch levels 2? You can't go through it without, you can't. You don't have to be a dweeb to be at level 6. I'm just describing the way that people are at level 6 right now. It's very unstable. No matter what, it's going to be unstable. But the instability has led to a lot of bad beliefs. You don't have to adopt bad beliefs. Okay. So this is level 1, 2, 3. This is 4, where you can start to see other people and what they think, and then you can relate to them. This is level 5, where you can see other people relating in different ways and go, ah, we're all individuals. I'll be an individual. And this is level 6, where you see the many different individuals you could be at any moment. I am this person here. I am that person there. I am an infinitude of potential people. You said you're pretty much a 5 in everything. How do you skip level 6? This is the way that you're thinking right now. You're seeing a world full of people who see their own worlds. I see this person who sees their own world. I see this person who sees their own world. And I am this person, this single person who relates to all that. At the next level, you're going to start seeing yourself as, I am just like a spectrum of possible things to be. I don't know who I am. I do know who I am. I don't know who I am here, but I do know now. And then I don't know again. I could go this way, I could go that way, right? Everybody in the world has all these potentials in them. You're going to need to go through there in order to get to the next stage, where you're going to be looking at that from the outside and seeing that you're like disidentified from your mind. You probably, if you scored at level 5 on all of the tests, you probably can get to level 7 when you are like at rest. When you just have your cup of morning coffee and you sit down and you're thinking really well, you probably can get to level 7. Kind of like the same way that I said I was getting to level 9, which is in little bits and little moments here and there. So think about it from there. When you're at your very, very highest level of thinking, think about it from there. Think about yourself and all the different versions of you you've been and all the different ways that you could go in life. And remember that floaty graphic. God, I wish I had these organized. There it is. Remember this guy. Remember that feeling. if you can get your mind here to like, oh, the world is just a wide open place of things to be and anyone can choose anything, when you get there, try and, I shouldn't write on this. No, it doesn't matter. When you get there, try and look at it from the outside instead of being this guy who has these many different things you could be. Look at it from the outside and see that your mind is generating all those many options, and you'll be the seer of that. There's no reason to hang out in this stage forever. You will get to it and you probably will become annoying, but you got to go through it, and it will take a few years. It takes a few years to go through. Good question. I know I make level 6 sound bad, but it really is like it's a step. And it's not all bad either, because you become much more like in touch with who you are, and you become much more understanding of other people, and some people become more creative. You find who you are a lot, because here you have a who you are, and then here you have a who am I. There's so many who you are's that you could be, and that brings you into a world of choosing who you are. And then at level 7 you choose who you are in the moment. At level 8 you can watch yourself choosing who you are in the moment. Pixel Fiend says, what I meant by does Islam's treatment of women hold water? I meant, should we learn from them and basically oppress women in the way they do? Not exactly. We shouldn't do exactly what they do, but we have to do something similar. What I wrote on Twitter the other day is that the main thing that we have to do with women right now is just take away their free handouts. They don't even know they're getting them. They're not even grateful. The men pay taxes and women absorb taxes. Women take more money out of government services than they pay in taxes. We are just giving them our money through the government, and a lot of it comes through fake jobs. They don't even know it. They don't even know it. They think that I'm awesome. I'm so awesome. My email job is amazing. My email job is the reason that there's food in the grocery store. I did that. They don't know how useless some of these jobs are. We have to cut all that off. We have to get rid of it. We have to knock all that out so that women have to either do something that's valuable or find a man who supports them. And that'll put them in line like probably 90%. But this crap, the free handouts, it makes them think they did it themselves. Like, have you ever heard that phrase, born on third base and thought you hit a triple? That's where women are right now. They think I'm so amazing because I got an email job that pays $150K a year. I make PowerPoints on cis white hetero privilege. I'm building the world with my PowerPoints on cis white hetero privilege. Here's her being in love with herself. If we took away their nonsense jobs, they would have no choice to either do something productive or rely on the man who does, and that would put them in line. Sean says, I asked ChatGPT if it was capable of giving answers that treat people as individuals according to classical liberal values instead of as identity groups according to woke values. It told me it was programmed not to. Ha! That's funny. Yeah, that means that it's programmed at level 6, which is bad. So bad. It's going to get worse before it gets better, guys. ChatGPT is woke. It's bad. Time says, what can be done with people who can't rationalize? Oh, I answered that one. Time says, again, thank you for the content. One of the channels I have learned the most from. Yeah, thank you. You have a lot of people that appreciate your content. Keep teaching. Cool. I will. And I think I'm just gonna make an envelope out of this for some reason. I think I'm gonna go because my throat hurts. But thank you for being here. Sorry, I guess I'm not sorry I did a public one, but I meant to do it for my supporters. But anyway, can Android waifus save us? Maybe. Don't count on things that don't exist yet. 40-year-old HR manager thinks she's carrying the plumbing business she works at on her back. Yeah, exactly. You get it.